Now we'll see next question. Next question is, which part of Brazil is ahead of other? So, which part of Brazil is ahead of other? It is very clear given in your figure. Eastern part of Brazil is ahead of other parts. Understood? Eastern part of Brazil is ahead of other parts or other zones of Brazil. So, the answer is eastern part. Next question. By how many minutes is this part ahead of others? 3 hours. You know, this time zone or extreme part, Ponta de Secas, this is ahead of 3 hours compared to um, other time zones. Understood? So this one is the extreme eastern part and it is ahead of 3 hours. Understood? The which is given other time zone which is given in the Brazil. This point or this zone is ahead of the remaining 3 time zone. Understood? Next question, what does the red line in the map show? So just now I told you the red line in the map shows the Brazilian standard time. Understood? The red line in the map show the official Brazilian time, which is 3 hours behind GMT. Just now I told you which is 3 hours behind GMT. Understood? Compared to India, India is ahead of 5.5 hour of GMT, but Brazil is behind 3 hours of GMT. Understood? So this point you should be very careful while learning. So always remember that Brazil is behind of GMT and India is ahead of GMT. And how many hours? India is 5.5 hours and Brazil is 3 hours. Understood? Now we will see next what is the main reason behind this, children. The reason is that we are situated in the eastern hemisphere and Brazil is situated in the western hemisphere. So you will find that because of the vast longitudinal extent of the country, the difference between two extreme points is around 168 minutes, 2 hours 48 minutes. Understood? There are different time zones in the country, in the Brazil. Brazil has 4 time zones. It is behind GMT by 2, 3 or 4 or 5 hours. The red line in the map shows GMT 3 time zone, which is considered to be official Brazilian time, BRT. It is 3 hours behind GMT. Understood? So just now I told you that it is the time zone which is behind GMT. Understood? Now telecommunication services in Brazil are well developed and efficient. Slowly they are developing. This industry includes landline as well as mobile services, television, broadcasting, radio broadcasting and computer internet access. Today more than 45% of Brazilian population has access to internet. The telecommunication infrastructure is fairly modern, particularly in the central south Brazil. However, the northern and northwest are drastically less developed because we know that northern part is covered with deep dense forest. So, naturally the telecommunication services is not well developed in the northern part of the Brazil. But if you go to south and central south Brazil or south Brazil, you can see there is fairly well development of telecommunication and other broadcasting services. Understood? Over recent years, the mobile telephone have led rapid expansion of telecommunication services in Brazil. The nature of Brazilian territory, especially land mass size and the large pockets of unpopulated and densely vegetated areas, create significant impediments to expansion of coverage of telecommunication services. So due to deep dense forest, so it is very difficult to lay out the network of telecommunication. So but it is well developed in the south or central part or south of Brazil. Understood? But Brazil is developing slowly in the sector of technology, and now it is developing domestically made satellites into space with its own rockets. So science and technology also developing. So this country is also doing research in communication or satellite communication. Understood? So this is well about your Brazilian development of communication, the time zone, and extreme time zone, extreme part of the time zone, and eastern and western. Understood? So this is about your Brazilian Standard Time.